Good morning, 819S. It's another hot one today. I don't know the exact temperature right now. I'm guessing 28, 27, 28. It's definitely heating up again. Whew. Today I want to talk about bicycles though. Bicycles. So, I read an article earlier this month about change in the laws for bicycle riders. Bicycles are pretty safe and pretty easy to ride here in Japan, but starting April 1st next year, the rules are going to become a lot more strict. And it's something that you need to know. Last year, the law was changed where you're required to wear a helmet when you ride a bicycle at any age. I think prior to that, it was only children. However, in both cases, one with children and the new one last year, my understanding is there's no punishment for it. So if you're riding a bicycle with no helmet on, the only thing the police can do is stop you and tell you you should wear a helmet, which would be a bit of a hassle. I haven't ridden my bicycles around that much these days. But I think that the police do stop adults from time to time for not wearing helmets. And they just tell you, you have to wear a helmet, it's the law. And as of April 1st next year, I don't know if the helmet rule is actually going to change, but the thing that they're going to do is add financial or fines to the punishments for a lot of the different bicycle laws. I believe the number is something insane. It's like 113 different offenses that will all be fined starting April 1st next year. The biggest one that I know of is riding your bicycle while using your smartphone. I don't know exactly how that's defined. I think what they're going for is the people who are holding it in their hand as they're riding, or people who are staring at the screen as they're riding. They're not going after people who just have it there as navigation or something like that. Because I think if it's any use of a smartphone in any way, that would basically eliminate all those food delivery jobs, right? Because you need your smartphone there to see the map so you can take the food to the customer's house. So I think the rule will be for really egregious, really terrible situations. But I think if you just have it on the handlebar, you're probably going to be alright. This is not legal advice, so do your own research if you're worried about it. And that fine would be 12,000 yen, which is like 80, $90 US dollars. It's pretty serious. The next biggest one, as far as I remember, is going into train crossings while the alarm is signaling. So, or the crossing gate is lowering. In Japan, vehicles are always supposed to stop before train crossings. I believe it applies to bicycles too, although if you stand in front of a station, bicycles never ever stop before they go through the train crossing. Every single car does, because cars will definitely be stopped by the police if they don't stop and the police are there. But bicycles, it's pretty normal for them to just keep going because they're on the sidewalk. So, I think now if you enter a train crossing while the crossing gate is lowering or while the alarm is ringing, it's a 7,000 yen fine as of April 1st, 2026. And then some of the other ones some of them are obvious, some of them are not as obvious. Not stopping at a red light, not stopping at a stop sign, those will get you fined now. I believe up to now there's no real punishment for those except the police stop you. One that's a little bit more controversial is currently the law says you must ride on the road. You have to be in the street. And I think the current law is 13 or younger can ride on the sidewalk and 70 or older can ride on the sidewalk. Everyone else should be in the street. And the exceptions are where there's a sign that indicates that the sidewalk is okay for bicyclists. And in cases where there's very heavy congested traffic, those would be situations where it's okay to ride a bicycle on the sidewalk. Other than that, you should be in the street always. And I think that's a 5,000 or 6,000 yen fine. Using headphones would be a 5,000 or 6,000 yen fine. Using an umbrella, some people will hold their umbrella with one hand and ride their bicycle, especially on rainy days, obviously, but sometimes on sunny days too. They hold their sun parasol and they ride their bicycle. That will be illegal. There are mounts that you can attach a umbrella to a bicycle handlebar set, and it will allow you to have a umbrella on your bicycle while you're riding. I think those are a little wild. They seem dangerous to me because it seems like something you're going to hit if you do have a bicycle accident, but there are more people than I expected with that kind of equipment set up on their bike. I'm trying to think. I just had a few more in my mind, but they disappeared. Fixed gear bikes. I couldn't really find the rule, but one of the pages that I read said riding a bicycle with no functional brakes or riding a fixed gear bike. And I think that they mislabeled it or mistranslated it, because my understanding is a fixed gear bike itself is not illegal if you have functioning brakes. Fixed gear, if people don't know, means the front gear and the rear gear are connected solidly, so the pedals can never freewheel. On a normal bicycle, you can pedal and then stop your feet and the bicycle keeps going, but your pedals can be stopped. On a fixed gear bike, you can't. If the bicycle is moving, the pedals must move. And on top of that, if you pedal backwards, the bicycle will go backwards. So basically, it's a fixed gear. The gear is always connected. Yeah, I have a fixed gear bike in my house, so I'm going to have to clarify the law on that a little bit later. If that gearing system is illegal and it's not just the brakes, then I think I'm going to have to get rid of my bike, which kind of sucks. But I don't really ride it that much these days because my new house is in a very hilly area and it's kind of hard to ride a bike like that. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different laws. Like I said, I think there's 113 or so that are going to change. So these are what's called, wow, I really do need coffee. These are fines, or these are circumstances where you will be given what's called a blue ticket. I think there are 3 different levels of tickets in Japan: warnings, violations, and then serious violations. I'll talk about the ticket system in another video, maybe tomorrow. But the blue tickets mean that you have a fine, and if you don't pay the fine, then the police will come after you. There's usually a short period of time where you have to pay it. I think it's usually about 1 week to 2 weeks. And you can pay it at the police station, you can pay it at a post office, you can pay it at a few different places. Fortunately, knock on wood self, I have never received any violation tickets for anything ever. So that's why I don't know as much about how to handle them. Yeah, and in the past I've also read if you break some violations, so for example, it was always kind of a gray zone to drink alcohol and ride a bicycle, and then I want to say 15 years ago or so, they strengthened the law to make it highly illegal to drink alcohol and ride a bicycle. At that time, I knew a lot of people who would go ride their bicycle to the bar and then ride home. They typically weren't hammered or something like that, so they were able to ride home safely. They had done it for years and years and years. And I definitely understand the safety standpoint, where you don't have full control, your reaction timing slower, stuff like that. So from a safety point of view, yeah, I guess it makes sense. But I guess the point I'm getting at now is when they made that law stricter for bicycles, my understanding is it also applied to your car or motorcycle driver's license. So if you were stopped on your bicycle for drunk cycling, you would receive points, or your driver's license for cars would be suspended. And I think that from an American standpoint, those are completely different things. Typically, I think many Americans would feel this way. you don't need a license to ride a bicycle, so your driver's license being impacted for a bicycle infraction seems a little bit excessive. And I think if you're really trying to encourage people not to do an action, make the punishment strict. So yeah, if that's what their goal is, then it makes sense. And again, I haven't read anything yet saying that they're going to give you points on your driver's license for bicycle infractions yet, but I believe that they're going to, because I think the blue ticket violations often include points, and if it does, you have to be really careful riding your bicycle, because you could end up losing your gold driver's license as a result of a traffic violation on a bicycle. Yeah. Again, this is just my understanding of things, not legal advice or anything like that. So if you are curious, definitely do a little bit of Googling. It should be as of April 1st, 2026. I think NHK and a few other websites have good articles about the changes to the law, so yeah. And riding two abreast, that will also be illegal. I think that's a 3,000 yen fine. There's so many different things that they've added. Oh, no lights at night will be a 5,000 yen fine. That's something that even when I started riding bicycles here in Japan, I think that was actually something that the police would fine you over. No lights, and then riding with two people on one bicycle, with the exception being a bicycle that has been specially designed for carrying children, and in that case you can get one that can carry two children. Mamachari sometimes has a seat in the front for a child and a seat in the back for a child. Those bicycles with right age children are legal. Anyone else riding a bicycle with two or more people will be fined. I was stopped by the police for that once, and they just gave us a warning. Yeah, that's another story for another day. But even though I was 30 almost, and a friend that was on the bike was like 28, he was like, "We're gonna call your parents," and the 28-year-old was like, "What?" Yeah, it was a little surprising for me, and for the friend also. And if you're 16 years old or under, and you're riding a bicycle designed to carry children, and you have a child on the back, that's also illegal. So some of the details of the law get a little bit complicated. So yeah, anyways, if you're riding bicycles in Japan, do your research, make sure you know what's expected and what's not expected. I believe that insurance is also required on bicycles, especially in Tokyo. In other prefectures it may not be required, but it might be a good to have. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Ride safe.